You're watching KLTX, Channel 15, serving the city of Lufkin.
Welcome to our February 1st Friday Luncheon. I'm Brian Sear, the 2020 Chamber Board Chairman of the Board. We are glad to have all y'all here. Great crowd, and I think it was because Tara said that there was free bottles of wine as you leave out there in the carts, so grab one of those as you go. No, please don't. Please don't. We got to pay for those. Put it on it's on the chamber bill. At this time, I'd like to ask Pastor Steve Killam with St. Paul's First United Methodist Church to come forward and say the invitation.
Let's go to our Lord in prayer. Dear Lord, we want to come to you this morning and say thank you. Gracias. First of all, thank you for this beautiful morning. We know that the rain is a blessing, but the sunshine is wonderful too. We also want to thank you for this opportunity to come together. Thank you for this ability to live in this community, in this county, surrounded by our friends, by our neighbors, by our family. Thank you for the businesses and the people that are represented today, and we ask that you continue to bless each and every one of us as we go through this wonderful life. Thank you for the opportunities that we had in the past, and most of all for the opportunities that we have in the future. Lord, we ask that you bless this food, bless those that prepared it, bless those that consume it. We ask that you give us strength, wisdom, and courage as we go out into the world. We ask these things in your Son, Jesus' name. Go, fight, win. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Steve. Okay, we're excited. Each month we are doing outstanding at adding investors to the chamber, and this month is not any different. We're excited to welcome several new investors. This is a great organization to be part of, and I would strongly encourage you to attend events and get involved. There we go. The new investors are DMV Petroleum, Shepherd Street Yoga, and I know I saw Jackie walk in just a little while ago. Wave, Jackie. Are you there? There she is. Batters Law Firm, we appreciate them, as well as Colony Apartments. And now I'd like to thank the sponsors. As usual, First Friday presenting sponsor is Lufkin Coca-Cola sitting up here at the front. Thank you guys so much. Lynn, their newest member van. And the State of the County presenting sponsor, Woodland Heights Medical Center. Thank you, Woodland Heights. And the State of the County Gold sponsor, East Tex Asphalt. And I know I saw Gino walking. Thank you. At this point, we'd like to welcome, where'd it go? There you go. I'm sorry. I'm new to glasses, guys. I'm sorry. At this time, I would like to ask Drew Emery, CEO with Woodland Heights Medical Center, to come up and say a few words as today's luncheon sponsor. Thank you, Drew.
Thank you very much. So I'm very happy to be here and honored to be here. So I'm relatively new to Lufkin. So I moved late last summer here to Lufkin from Southwest Florida. So a lot of people are talking about the humidity here. So I can attest it is not nearly as bad here as it is in Florida. So that was a positive for us. So as my family and I are kind of getting settled in, I just wanted to introduce myself to everyone, and then, you know, I'm with Woodland Heights, and we have a strong reputation. We've been in business for 100 years. We just celebrated that, so hopefully many of you were able to come out last summer and celebrate us with us. So just some quick statistics about some of the things that we do when you look at the impact of our organization on our community. So last year we took care of almost 23,600 people through our emergency department at the hospital. So we had over 5,900 inpatient admissions. So those are patients that stayed overnight in our hospital as an admitted patient. And from all of our outpatient service lines, whether it's through things that are done, diagnostic testing, laboratory, whatnot. Almost 57,000 people we're touching our organization. So that's a lot of individuals. Probably many of the folks in this room at some point in time visited our hospital for something. And hopefully we provide you great service, and we'll continue to do that as we go forward. So some other benefits, we spent almost $40 million in payroll expenses last year. So that's money that we paid to our employees that they got to come back and hopefully spend in all of your businesses within our area. We also spent about $1 million on new technology for our institution to keep us current in advancing the medical care here in our community. And we spent a little over $3.2 million in property and sales taxes. So that's something that our organization does. So about $1 million of that was property taxes, and then the rest was sales taxes. So that's tax income that's going back into our community from our organization. And in terms of individuals that came to our building that did not have the ability to pay for their care, we provided about $57 million in uncompensated charity care last year. So those are a lot of folks that we provided health care to who didn't have the ability to pay, that we were very happy to do that for. And we spent about $60,000 in donations. So when you look at an organization, so we have 600 employees at Woodland Heights today. And so we're very proud of our ability to fit into the community and be truly a partner with each and every one of you. So we've been around for 100 years. We're looking for our next 100-year celebration far off in the future. And kind of the most recent news, we were just awarded by the American College of Cardiology Heart Care Center designation. So that's something that our team worked hard on, and there's a lot of metrics in order to get there. And we're very proud of that accomplishment as well. We just got that within the last few weeks. But thank you all. We appreciate the opportunity to be a sponsor today, and we thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Drew. Today we are honored to have our very own Angelina County Judge, Don Lymbery, as he presents the state of the county. Judge Lymbery has been serving our county since January of 2019. He's been a businessman, though, for over 35 years. He's been married to his wife, Ginger, for 51 years, and together they have 2 children, 3 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. He's retired from the United States Air Force with numerous overseas tours, including Vietnam and Desert Storm. And first of all, Judge, we thank you for your service to our country, and we are excited to have you today. So come on up.
You will notice that I'm not using one of these mics today. I'm not going to be pointing at the screen. I've got a lapel mic, so, okay. All right. Is it working okay? Everybody hear me okay? Good. All right. First of all, I would like to say that this first year as your new Angelina County Judge has been exciting. It's been energetic, sometimes quite frustrating, but all in all, I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoy serving as your Angelina County Judge in a big way. The Angelina County Commissioners Court has really gotten a lot of things done this year. We do it as a court. It's not one person, it's not 2 people, 3 people. We do it as a court. There's 5 individuals on the court, and we've gotten a lot of things done this year. Let me show you, as soon as I turn this on, let me show you exactly some of the things that we've gotten done. First of all, as promised, the return to the public forum. Everybody has a saying in the Commissioners Court now. Anybody that wants to come, this was something that was taken off several years ago. The court has added this back. We're very proud to have it. And anytime anyone needs to come to our court, you are welcome. Also, the creation of the Airport Advisory Board that was done right before I took office. We have an excellent group of individuals on the Airport Advisory Board. Very qualified people. They are doing a very good job. They along with our airport manager, are making sure that our airport is going to be growing well into the future. When I first took office last year, we found that we had 3 parcels of land that had been abandoned and not been used for roughly 20 years. The commissioners were having to mow them. It was taking time and equipment away from road repair. It just didn't make sense to leave these 3 parcels of land not back on the tax rolls. So we got busy, and by mid-year we had all 3 of the land parcels sold, put that extra $60,000 back into the tax rolls, and we're no longer having to mow them, and that's the big thing. About 3 years ago, the sheriff had asked for 3 additional deputies, and had come to Commissioner's Court for that. Last year, the court was operating under the previous administration's budget, so there was no room to add any deputies. But we got to looking around at the courthouse, and we found out that we had 3 guards at the front door of the courthouse. I went to the judges upstairs and worked out a solution with all of the municipal judges and the court at law 1 and 2 judges to go down to 2 guards that did an adequate job. And we took that 3rd position that was already a sheriff's position and put them back on patrol. So we were able to get that 1 deputy back into patrol position the first year, even without putting it on the budget. Then this next year, we were in the new budget, the 2020 budget, we were able to add an additional deputy. So now we've got 2 of the 3 original requested deputies back in, trying to get adding that to public safety. Part of public safety is not just the sheriff's office. You can put boots on the ground, but that's not the answer to the whole problem. You've got to be able to have a jail to put the people, once they're arrested, to bring them in. You've got to house these prisoners, and then you have to prosecute them. So in this year's budget, we added another prosecutor to the county attorney. We took the CPS cases, the Child Protective Services cases, out of the DA's office, which is not really where it needed to be, and we reassigned it back down to the county attorney, which is where it needs to be, and that's what the additional prosecutor is taking over down there. Then we were able to add an investigator and a prosecutor to the district attorney's office, and that was in the budget. You know, the commissioners agreed. We went ahead and added this because we need to be able to move people through the system. If they're going to the penitentiary, we don't want this 2 and 3 year lag times, people sitting in our jail and crowding the jail population. We've got a great jail, but we need to be able to have people moving through it. So the DA's office had the new investigator and prosecutor, and then the state offered some matching grants. The matching grants were pretty much completely paid for by the state, but it allowed us another investigator, another prosecutor, and a victims assistance coordinator. So that's 5 new individuals that had to be added to the DA's office. We didn't have room, but now we do, and I'll go into that in just a minute. But the sheriff's office has been invaluable to us this last year in providing inmate labor. We had the old downtown jail that was no longer used and had been abandoned roughly 12 years ago, and it was a mess. The inmate labor, the sheriff's office provided the inmate labor. We cleaned everything out of that jail, and then we turned around and started moving records out of the courthouse. We had records stored up in the courthouse, taking up valuable office space. We moved the records with the sheriff's help in providing the inmate labor, and we started populating that old jail, not with people, but with records. Now we have a dry storage area for records, and the county has lots and lots and lots of records that we have to keep up with. But now that old jail downtown is being utilized. All right, now courthouse landscaping. The courthouse needed a facelift. I mean, it really needed a facelift. To start with that facelift, we did the landscaping on the outside. If you haven't had a chance to go by the courthouse lately, it doesn't even look like the same place. It has really made a big change. We've got all new shrubbery around the courthouse. We've got rock where there had been debris scattered around. It really has taken a step in the right direction. And trust me, we're not done yet. It's gonna continually be improved. The farmers market. This last year, it was time for a contract renewal on the farmers market. We looked at all the applicants that we had, people that wanted to manage the farmers market. We made a decision as a court, and we picked some people that were actually going to promote the farmers market better than it has been promoted in the past. They've got venues out there in the evening. They've got a lot of new vendors out there, not just vegetables and everything, but we have other venues. It's almost a little bit like sometimes a garage sale, but it has lots of activity there. Now, I want to make a comment about the Freedom Park out in front of the farmers market, along with the work that we're doing in the farmers market. The Freedom Park out front had been going downtown. This was a park that was dedicated years ago and had kind of been allowed to grow up. It really needed, then again, a facelift. The Master Gardeners has done an outstanding job. They pitched in, and with help from Lowe's and some other people, we have all new shrubbery around that farmer's market at the Freedom Park, and it has really enhanced the entrance. The Freedom Park is right at the entrance to the farmer's market, and it has really made it much nicer. Now, last year, I'm going to make a little comment right here. Last year, we had a conversation during the budget hearings that we had about the precinct constables, and they didn't end up getting any salary increase and this sort of thing. That's not completely true. Part of the constables' salaries is fuel adjustment. 3 of the constables ended up getting pretty healthy fuel allowances, which actually is an increase in salary, because before then it had been having to come out of their pocket in order to finish up the year to supply all the fuel that they had to do. So they did end up, and this was done through the Commissioner's Court. We're trying to take care of everybody in the county, if at all possible. Now, we got a new radio system. This is something that's been being worked on for several years. We had a new tower that was put in down in Diboll. We've always had a communication problem. When the deputies are in the field, they haven't been able to have good, adequate communication back, because Angelina County has a lot of hills, we got a lot of trees, and there's all kind of opportunities for radio signals to be blocked. We're trying to improve on that, and we are improving on that. But now we've got a new tower, if y'all have noticed, back behind the Sheriff's Department, that is much higher, and it's going to do a very good, adequate job to get that signal out. And then we've got another tower down in Savala, and we're probably 2, maybe 3 weeks away from actually having all of the equipment transferred to the new towers. And then we will be in operation, and we're really excited to find out exactly what kind of difference it makes in the safety of our deputies that are out in the field. We want them to be sure to be able to get back and explain what's going on. New computer software. The Sheriff's Department has to stay compliant with reporting capability to the FBI and everything else. We were running out with the computer software that the department had. It was way out of date. We had to do something, and at the same time, we're taking care of several other problems at the same time, and one of those problems is the units that are actually in the patrol cars. It's going to give real-time capability location service back to dispatch showing exactly where every car is, so we don't ever have to worry about a deputy being in trouble before and not being able to identify exactly where that deputy is. They're also going to be able to get back to the sheriff's department with information, checking license numbers and this sort of thing, and find out exactly how dangerous an individual is when someone gets stopped. It's all part of bringing the department and the county's law enforcement capability into the next century. Landfill updates. We have a great landfill out there. A lot of people don't realize just exactly how much work a landfill is, but we were filling up one of our last modules. We've got 2 new areas that we're opening up, and it's going to allow us plenty of room for growth in the future. That's not going to be a problem at all. Any of y'all that voted in this last little election got an opportunity to use the new voting machines. The state says we needed to upgrade our stuff. It was sort of old, okay? But we have all new voting machines. They are working fine, and after the last little voting that we had and broke in the new machines, we found out the state came back and said, y'all need 5 more locations added to be able to adequately serve everybody in Angelina County. So we have added those 5 new locations, and we've also had to buy 5 new complete machines and adequate. And by machine, it's not just a laptop. I mean, these things are pretty complicated. Now, I want to brag a little bit about our IT department. As you can guess, the county has to keep up with lots and lots of data and records. Marriage licenses, all the way from marriage license to automobile registrations, you name it, plus all the court records. There is lots and lots and lots of data we have to keep up with. The IT department, when I get back to it, yeah, there it goes. Oh, hey, I will get there. This is technology. I said the IT department's good, not me, okay? All right, now, okay, here we go. Technology expansion. They have done an absolutely incredible job with adding expandable mass storage system to our IT storage. That way, we're going to be able to preserve the county's data for years to come. We're not going to be growing out of it. We were actually very concerned toward the end of the year that we weren't going to be able to, we were going to be at max capability. They've come up with some very innovative solutions and really done an excellent job. Now, 380 employees. We can't match what Woodland Heights is doing. We try, but we've got 380 employees with an annual payroll putting back into the community of $21 million. Here's a list of our elected officials. As you can see, we've got a bunch, but I also want to mention something else. Besides those elected officials, we've got some very important departments. The county has our own county airport. A lot of counties don't have an airport because of the city has taken it over. We also have the landfill, but we've got juvenile probation, a big, very capable maintenance department, and of course our IT, information technology, indigent health care. We're responsible for taking care of a lot of our less fortunate people in the county. And of course, emergency management, 911 addressing, and our elections and auditor department. The responsibilities of the county government. I went over this with you last year. We do have a lot of responsibilities. Besides holding elections throughout all school districts and everything, the county is responsible for maintaining all of the election equipment. We also have 710 miles of roads and bridges that we take care of, plus county parks and the airport. We provide health and safety services for everybody in Angelina County, and mostly toward the indigent care, but that is a very important part of what the county does. Now, Commissioners Court. We adopt the county budget, not one person, the court. The county judge and 4 precinct commissioners, we adopt the budget and we set the tax rate. It's done as a court. There's no one person on the court that works independently. It's done as a court. We don't all agree, not supposed to agree, but once the court makes a decision, we accept it and we go on with our business. County budget is huge, over $26 million. And we do have a balanced budget. My background in business says you've got to have a balanced budget. So we spend $26 million also. Now, tax rate. We've got a very low tax rate, but exactly where does that money go? We've got a little over 75% goes into the general fund. And then we got 15% of that individual tax that we collect goes into road and bridge fund. The others are into county health, about 4.58%, and we've still got to pay off any loans that we have, so debt service and jury fund comes out of that. General fund revenue. That general fund, where does the money come from? 59.75% of it comes from property taxes. The 2 big ones, just like the city and just like everybody else. We got right at 60% from property taxes, and you'll see sales tax over there. Wrong button again. Sales tax over there is 23, almost 24%. So 80% of everything actually comes from some form of taxes. The rest of the income that comes in comes from state and salary supplements and fees that are collected by the tax assessor and collector, and some interest income and some grant funds. Now, this is very important. I want everybody to understand this because I had mentioned earlier that law enforcement, public safety, is not just putting boots on the ground. A lot of people feel like if you can add deputies, you've solved the problem of public safety, keeping everybody safe. That's not the end of the story. You've got law enforcement is almost 24% of the general fund expenditures. You also have the county jail at 15.39% and judicial and prosecution. Those 3 items right there makes up 60% of the county's budget. 60% of everything that comes in goes into keeping the county safe. Taking people off the road that are doing bad things, putting them in jail, and prosecuting them. It is our mandate. It's something we have to do, but it's important for everybody to understand that it's not just hiring more deputies. It is a lot bigger job than that. Now let's look at the tax rate. 10 years ago, we were looking at a 0.4328 for those of you that can't see it. And Angelina County was having a rough time. We were losing industries. We were going through a lot of things. And the tax rate kept going up, went all the way up to 0.4669. Then we had a little dip. We had a little better economy there for a little bit, and then it went up again. But it's very important. I want you to look at that gummit. Gary, these buttons are too close together. All right. It's very important to look at.
There you go.
There you go. All right. This right here. This right here was 2 years ago. Last year was an election year. And so there was a lot of interest on tax rates. Amazing how that works. But anyway, it was an election year and everything went down to 0.4371 that year. But you will notice, look at what your Commissioners Court did for y'all this year. Going into this next year, we're exactly the same. 0.4371. The tax rate did not increase at all. Now, how were we able to do all the wonderful things that we did? County growth. County growth. We had an increase in revenue, but we did not pass it on to the taxpayers. And that's thanks to the help of your Commissioners Court. All right, let's look at where we are in relation to the other counties. We got 13 counties there. Angelina County is still third from the bottom. Only St. Augustine and Sabine County is lower than us, but we're sitting right there at 0.4371. I got tickled last year. Nacogdoches was so proud because they rolled their tax rate back. They're still 1.2 cents higher than we are, okay? And they're the closest in size to us right now. So your county government is functioning well, and this ought to be a good indication. Come all the way down to Tyler County down there and look at theirs is 0.9666. Incredible change, and everybody, almost everybody is higher than we are. All right, law enforcement center. We're very fortunate to have the jail and the sheriff's department and everything there on Lufkin Avenue is all together. We also have the JP precinct court in this area right down here. So Constable of Precinct 1 and JP1, Judge Ball, does a lot more work than the other JPs because of the location. They're right there. They're right there in the jail. So he's in the jail every day. He's able to do all the magistrative work that takes place in the jail, and he can keep everything well-oiled and running like it should be without someone having to go to the jail to do those functions. Our jail houses 279 persons right now. We've got 225 male inmate beds and 54 female inmate beds. When we have an overcrowding problem right now, lately it has been in female inmate beds. We have not actually reached this 279 beds in several years right now because we're doing a better job with prosecution. But in the last 3 months, that jail population has gone up 50 spaces. We've had, sometimes it's crazy the way it works. Sometimes we were going all through last summer at about 184, 185, and then this morning I checked and it's in the 230 range. So we watch it all the time. We don't want to have to get in a situation where we got to build a new jail. 2 or 3 years from now, the way the county is growing, and it is growing, we're probably going to be looking at that, but not now. You can see in 2019, this area here, and 2018, you're basically looking at the number of people that the number of inmates that were brought in, males and females, have remained almost the same last year and this year. It's not really changed much. So we're able to maintain. The food budget for the jail is around $250,000. $400,000 in inmate medical care. When someone is arrested, the county is responsible for taking care of all of that. If they've got cancer, we're talking about a huge expense. We had a young pregnant individual last year that had some complications. It's got to be paid for, and we're going to take care of them. Just because they're incarcerated doesn't mean that they're a bad person, and it doesn't mean that they've necessarily done anything wrong. They haven't been, the judgment hadn't been passed yet. They're in jail for the time being. Now, look at this right here. The jail garden. The inmates, under direction of the sheriff and a wonderful warden that we have out there in the jail, allows the inmates to get outside and do work. And that garden has yielded just shy of 7,000 pounds of produce this last year. Now, any of y'all that garden know how wet it's been this year. It hadn't been a good year for gardening at all, but they did an amazing job to produce this kind of produce. All of that goes back into the jail, i.e. saves the county money in food cost. Then anything that's left over is not wasted. It's taken down to Godtel. It's taken down to the Salvation Army. Everything is reused. There's no waste at all. County Airport. In 2019, the state came to us and said we're awarding the Angelina County Airport with the most improved airport for the year for the entire state of Texas. We have a wonderful airport out there. Any of y'all that have gone out and eaten hamburgers or come out and eaten a salad along with what I do, they've got other stuff besides hamburgers, but they have a, yeah, what's the point of that is right, I know, yeah. But we have a wonderful airport out there. A lot of people that don't understand or know everything that goes on at the airport don't realize just how important an airport is to local businesses. And it makes a tremendous difference. We have flight instruction, but anybody that is, Tara will tell you that anybody that's looking at bringing a business into this area, one of the first things they look at is, what kind of airport do you have? What kind of runways? What size traffic can you handle? How big an airplane can I get in there? You know, because people are going to be looking at air travel, making things fast. The last few things that the city has added and the county has added, a lot of it has been because of the airport. We have a youth outreach program out there with over 2,300 participants. The Experimental Aircraft Association is something that I'm involved in, and I'm very proud of that 2,300 young Angelina County kids that we've flown, because 400 of those are mine. I love the program. I love flying kids. It is a blast. They get a great deal out of it. Now, something very few people in the state of Texas know, but we've got 285 airports in the state. 15 of those airports are actually what we call standalone airports. Every other airport, except for those 15, takes taxpayer money to run the airport. I told you how good an airport we have, and a great airport manager sitting right back over there, Gary Litney. But this airport is self-sustaining. We have fuel sales, and we have rental for hangar space and some other income capabilities out there, but there is no taxpayer money that's going in to run the airport. It's not costing y'all anything to have this fantastic facility out there. We have two things in the county that are this way. One of them is the airport, and the other one is the landfill. It's a standalone business, okay? We have just under 10,000 visitors at Angelina County Airport, according to TxDOT records. And TxDOT says that we contribute basically a little over $3 million back into the local economic output. Now, proposed project that we got going on out there. TxDOT Aviation has allowed us to put up new game fences, and we're looking at this project. We have not started it yet, but we're in the first initial stages of doing that. That's a safety thing and a security thing, but we're looking at probably toward the end of this year getting well into the game fence and trying to keep the deer off the runways, okay? It does create a problem. Waste management, landfill. Our waste management center, then again, is an enterprise part of the county. It costs the taxpayers nothing. But we provide service to 10 of our area counties. A lot of people don't realize that. We average 125 commercial loads per day. That's not even talking about all the pickup loads of stuff from y'all, and local citizens that bring stuff out there. We keep our rates down extremely low, so nobody from Angelina County is going to suffer when they've got to clean up, a mess in their yard. Now, construction is underway on these 2 new cells, and it's well underway. Everything is going extremely well. We got plenty of growth going into the future. But I want to show you something right here and mention carbon credits. Angelina County, this little gizmo right there, if you ever pass by after dark, the landfill, you'll see a very weird looking glow over there. It's not aliens landing or anything like that, but that is actually the methane gas that's coming off all of the cells that we have finished. And as we start a new cell on a landfill, we have pipes and gathering stations underground that bring the methane to keep it from being off-gassed into the air and going up and destroying our ozone. We off-gas it, bring it back, we pipe it, we plumb it all the way back to this gizmo right here, and we flare that. Then it's dissipated as water vapor. So the federal government and the state says you guys are really being environmentally friendly. So we're going to give you carbon credits for X amount of volume of gas that you save that doesn't go back into the air. Very unique gizmo right there. It makes a difference of $9,000 to $15,000 a year that we get back, that we can sell those carbon credits to companies, industries throughout the nation that aren't as environmentally friendly as we are. So we sell those carbon credits, then that $9,000 to $15,000 goes right back into the general fund. Saves the taxpayers money. Castle Boykin Park. Those of you that use it know that we got hammered last year hard with all the storm damage. We had a lot of damage, have not been able to get it all corrected yet, but the handicap fishing pier is still usable. We've got part of the handicap fishing pier that we haven't been able to get out of the water yet because the water's just been too high. It's underwater. But we had 2 entrances to the handicap fishing pier, so it is still usable. Our bicycle trails and walking trails had a lot of damage from the high water, but we've been able to get those all back into position, or back into service now. Campsites. Over the past number of years, we've had septic tanks out there that have had to be pumped, sometimes twice a week, $11,000 to $12,000 a month we've had to pay in septic tank pumping services, or $12,000 a year, I'm sorry. So what we've had to end up doing is looking at an upgrade. We're talking to the Corps of Engineers right now, and we're well underway with the Corps, an arrangement to improve those campsites. We're going to take about 8 or 9 of those campsites, and we're going to put full service camping in there, so everybody that camps will be able to have sewer drops and everything there. And then we're going to be able to eliminate all of the pumping that we've been having to do now, because it will have it'll have an aerobic system out there that's going to take care of all the water effluent and everything. It has to be a process that's got to be engineered. But then again, we're looking at the future, and that's something that we're not too far off. We'll have that done this year. The events pavilion. In 2019, you will see that we had 39 events. Weddings, family get-togethers, fishing tournaments. It was good. We had an extremely busy year. But look at what we're doing already in 2020. We have already booked 32 events so far this year, and we've got several already rolling into 2021. Castle Boykin Park is just absolutely taking off. It's doing well. Our park manager, park director is doing a very good job. It's staying very well policed, and it is well on its way for paying for itself. Ewing Park out off of 103 East. Ewing Park, the launch part, is a county asset. We actually take care of picking up the trash and taking care of keeping the ramp and everything clear, but Ewing Park is actually a county asset, just like Castle Boykin is. Now, we're also talking to the Corps about Monterey Park. Monterey Park is directly across the cove from Castle Boykin. Angelina County has more lake frontage than any other county in the area. It's crazy for us not to take advantage of those launch locations and be able to get more fishing tournaments here and this sort of thing. So we're looking at Monterey Park of taking it over also. The Corps and the Forest Service, they're tired of it. They're tired of managing these things, and they're letting the parks go down. So we're in the process of bringing that into the park system for the county. Daily use fees have gone up slightly, but all we have done with the county use fees is brought it into basically what everybody else in the lake is already charging. You know, I think it's $5 for a launch fee or something. We went up $1.20 or something like that. It's very low. But Castle Boykin is a big part of what's going on with the county. Emergency management. We're responsible as a county to take care of everything as far as planning for emergencies. Hopefully we never have one, but then again, as you well know, we do occasionally have one. We have plans that are connected with all 6 individual cities in Angelina County. We work closely with them for mitigation plans. We're making sure that everybody knows what the other entity is going to be doing. Thank goodness I don't have to be that coordinated in it. As director, as you can see up there, my name's up there, but I have got an excellent coordinator, and he takes care of all that, keeps me out of trouble. So thank you, Ricky. All right, 911 addressing. Part of the thing that the county does is we have to maintain very accurate mapping, GIS mapping. Anytime someone adds a new address, build a new home, they go through our 911 system. That's all part of what the county pays for. We end up doing that. We correct errors in addressing. It's all part of that 911 system, and it's something that the county takes care of. Little bragging here. Senior Citizen Center. Back in 1974, a nonprofit organization was founded and created a senior citizen center for the citizens of Angelina County. What most people don't realize is that the facility and all the maintenance is county. We provide the facility, we provide all the maintenance, we take care of them, making sure that the senior citizen center can operate as it should and keeping their costs down. So everything that the senior citizen center does out there is actually due to county help. They've got 1,785 meals served monthly at the main Lufkin location. Then you got the North Lufkin location that they've just recently added, and also Huntington locations. They do an outstanding job. There is over 10,912 seniors served home delivered meals monthly throughout the entire Angelina County area. I checked a couple of days ago. Now there's 185 seniors on the waiting list, which grows trying to get these delivered meals. It fluctuates anywhere from 185 to 225, but there is a demand, and we're constantly adding. They also provide a meeting place for seniors, activities of bingo, exercise, educational speakers, and they've got a great restaurant out there, which, by the way, the county has just remodeled. They've got all new equipment out there. So we're very proud of our Senior Citizen Center. It's also home to the American Legion Auxiliary number 113. The post out there, they have a lot of activities that take care of our veterans, and that's all housed in the Senior Citizen Center. Economic development. Everybody knows, or should know, that we're right on the edge of some really great things happening in Angelina County. You know, the old Buck Creek facility out there has just done extremely well. What I can tell you at this time, it's just the bare edge. There is greater things to come. There is stuff that's happening all the time that I'm not privy to tell you, but Angelina County is doing well. Very proud of our website information. Angelina County is very transparent. You can go to our website. You can look at our entire, no you can't if I keep doing that. You can look at our entire financial situation. You can look at all the money we have invested. You can look at how much money we spend. You can look at the records we've got up here, criminal case records. You've got everything from probate case law, court calendar, everything that you need, plus the fact that all of our commissioner court. Now I know everybody's busy, so you don't have time to watch it, but all of our commissioners court, when we're discussing how better to spend y'all's money, it's all live streamed. You can see and hear everything that we discuss live stream. If you don't have time to watch it, which I understand completely, it's archived. You can go back in later when things are quiet and you can watch everything that's done, the decisions are made, who supported, who was against a certain decision. But keep in mind, we do things as a court. And once we make a decision, even if it's a 3-2 decision, the court has voted and we accept it and go on about our business. Now, last year at Christmas, if y'all had an opportunity to go downtown during the Christmas season, you were treated to an unbelievable view of the courthouse. The guys, the sheriff's department with the inmate labor, along with our maintenance department, does an absolutely incredible job with decorations. Last year, in conjunction to the city Christmas parade, we had the grand finale lighting of the courthouse done in line with the city Christmas parade. As the parade was coming around the corner, right before it got there, we announced, I had a bunch of kids in the gallery out there, out in front of the courthouse, count down, 10, 9, 8. We had a grand finale lighting, and we lit the courthouse up. It was great fun, and it really does add a lot to the downtown area. So if you have an opportunity, especially during Christmas season, go by and look at the courthouse lighting. Now, the landscaping, told you about all the landscaping, all new shrubs, no longer the trimming that we've done, the limbs that have been trimmed, everything, and this is just a start. All these rocks that are added right here, we did away with all of the old unsightly grass, all new grassing areas everywhere in front of the courthouse. It was needed, but it does not look like the same place. It was a big improvement. Now, the name of the game here is the state of the county. And I can tell you, that this last year has been a blast, okay? The state of the county is not just good. Hopefully, everything that you've seen me tell you today should show you the state of the county is excellent. It's not just good. And I appreciate the understanding and support that I've gotten from basically everybody that supported me when I ran for election and all the things that we're doing for the county. We could not do it as a commissioner's court without the support from the citizens of Angelina County. I applaud y'all. I appreciate it. And hopefully you got a lot of good stuff out of this. Thank you.